book besties, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Cayenne and this is Cayenne as Booked. And today we are wrapping up our May reading month. I'm really excited because I had, for it being the last month of the school year, I had a really solid reading month. I think probably too because I spent a lot of time escaping into my reading because life was beating me up and I needed to just step away from that. So I read 21 books in the month of May. Oh my God, there's Belle. I read 21 books in the month of May, and I've already done a wrap up for the Mafia Romance Readathon, which I helped co-host. So I will link that wrap up in the description box and wherever it pops up on your TV, et cetera, et cetera. So that takes up 10 books that I read this month. So we only have a couple more books that we need to talk about. So we'll start off strong with Reckless by Lauren Roberts. This is the second book in I can't remember the name of the series. Anyways, it's the second book in the series. And I will say that I re-listened to Fearless and then I listened to Reckless on audio. I really enjoyed it. I feel like it maybe enhanced my reading experience a little bit more. I am really excited. I have the audio of the third book and I meant to finish it in May. But I'm also really scared. This is what happens when I get to the end of something or the cliffhanger is really brutal. And I'm a huge Kai fan, not because I should be, but because I think he's the best pick for her. And I think that he truly loves her. And I think that they have such a beautiful relationship when they're not biting each other's heads off and are sworn enemies, which that's neither here nor there. Anyways, so the way this one ended really hurt my feelings, especially for Kai. And so I'm scared about what this means as a whole headed into the final book of the trilogy. Am I gonna finish it? Absolutely. I'm actually gonna be taking a trip here within the next couple of days to go see my best friend in Salt Lake City, so more than likely I'll probably listen to this as I'm traveling. Although, what happens if I cry? I hate publicly crying. I have cried on an airplane. What book was I reading? Oh, I was rereading House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas, and I sobbed on an airplane. But anyways, I hope everybody just minded their own business, okay? But back to what I was saying. I did really enjoy this. I gave this one 4 stars. It was angsty. I really loved the physical chase between the two of them, Pei and Kai, but also too the emotional chase back and forth of I know I shouldn't like him, I know I shouldn't care for her, but that undeniable thread of they're gonna do anything for each other, even though everything about the two of them being together is forbidden. So I loved it. 4 stars. Nervous but excited to start the next one. Next, we'll talk about book club picks and any vlogs that I posted. So I read my first Ali Hazelwood, Love on the Brain, gave it 5 stars, read it in one sitting. If you want to hear all my thoughts, feelings, and me gush about it, I will link my On Wednesdays We Wear Pink video because this is obviously a pink cover, borrowed from my library, so this was featured. The other book that was featured with it was The Soldier by Grace Burrows, and I give that one 3 stars. Spoiler for the vlog. I explain all of it, hopefully in a way that sounds intelligent and I articulated well. So that's this one. Then I read The Devil's Backbone by Kristen Bowling for The Good, the Bad, the Smutty with my friend Jess over on Instagram. I gave it 5 stars. This is a Western. She's a bounty hunter. He's a sheriff. She's trying to avenge her parents. He knows more than he's letting on. They fall for each other. She falls for the enemy. It's so good. I think a lot of what I love about it is the nostalgia of it. Here comes Belle. Oh my gosh, a guest. Hi. A guest. So yeah, anyways, I love this book. I'm very excited. It's the first book in a trilogy. And the relationship between Cass and James is chef's kiss. I am obsessed with it. And Justin and I talk a lot about it, but like it was just nostalgic, like felt very much John Wayne-ish, like, oh, it was so good. And I am both excited and very apprehensive for the next book. So definitely pick this one if you haven't had the chance to. Then I read Come Sundown by Nora Roberts for the book club that Jess from Peace Love Books does for her Patreons. Okay, this isn't working out. I need to finish. I need to finish. Do you want to lay down? Come lay down. Oh, no, I'm not going anywhere. All right, so this is Come Sundown by Nora Roberts. And this is, let me get my bookmark out of there because this is, as you can tell, a library book. So this follows the Bodine family. And her name's actually Bodine. And then you have a new hire, Callan Skinner. They know each other. He left to go to Hollywood, came back to work on the family ranch. She owns the resort. And this is like, it goes back and forth because like you have an aunt that's been missing for, I think, close to 25 years, who plays a pretty pivotal role in this. And like you go back to her point of view and it switches back and forth. And I will say, like, when we were talking in the Patreon book club live about this, this is one of the very few books where, like, you go back and forth between the past that didn't bother me. Because the flashback style of, like, talking about things sometimes really irks me. But in order to understand, like, the aunt's journey through everything, you really did have to be inside her point of view and really understand like what she went through. So I love this book. I gave this one 5 stars. I think to like it was very much like a 4 or 5 star pick for the book club. The reason why I gave it 5 stars is because, like I said, like the suspense element and then the longevity of the storyline for the suspense element, which will become like something you want, if you read it, like you want to, I don't want to spoil it. But it is so intense. And then you have the relationship between Callan and Bodine, and it is like very much second chance, but like he's very understanding and very supportive of her. And she's like very driven, and it's really like nice for her because like she can go and like just be with him. I think that's the best way to say it. And it's like, it's very beautiful for her because like she can let go of like the worries and like not concern herself with the resort, but also too, like he's like a rancher, he's a cowboy. So he understands like long hours, like things that are unplanned, like, cause cows have their calves whenever they want to, you know what I mean? Like horses give birth to babies when they feel like it. So it's like, they're both very understanding of the demands of the job. And like, it's a very nice place for both of them to land at the end of the day. So I really liked that. It was slow to start, but the suspense aspect really had me like in a chokehold. So I was okay with the fact that it took us a minute to like get them going. All right. Then I read, I'm trying to decide where to go from here. Yeah, because the rest of them that I have to talk about are all the pirate romances I read for Happily Ever After-thon. Okay. So I read 5 pirate romances. And I had the time of my life with a good portion of them. I don't know which Guardian Angels first. Okay, so I don't know. We'll start off with the one that I am disappointed in. So I read Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. And this was just a 5-star for me. No. A 3-star for me. It is actually being unhauled. And I'm really upset about it because I do like the sprayed edges and all of that, which is a big reason why I bought it in the first place. Because I was like, oh, cool special edition. So the biggest issue I had is like, this is, I believe, YA, if I remember correctly. And how do I put this? Respectfully, of course. I like didn't care. Like, she felt so conceited to the point that, like, I didn't even really like her character. And I was like, I get it, bro. Like, you're the daughter of the Pirate King. And you can go and do whatever you want to. Like, okay, bro, we get it. Right? And then also, too, like, she's supposed to be falling for one of the other brothers who has, like, the map for the buried treasure that everybody's looking for in the series, right? I didn't believe the relationship at all. Like, this man goes through it, and she's just like mildly concerned about whether or not he's going to survive, but like I'm supposed to believe that he's a love interest. So anyways, I give this 3 stars. I'm not saying that it was bad. I'm not saying that I hated it. I didn't. It was just like, okay, cool. Like, I, in no way, shape, or form, like, I had already requested the next book from my library and literally checked the hold out and returned the hold before I even left the library, because I was like, I'm not reading the next one, because if I'm not bought into what the main characters are doing, like, I don't want to continue reading. And it was just so disappointing, because like I really wanted to love this book and I didn't. So let me put this back on my unhaul stack, because I had to dig it out for this. Next up, I read Scandalous Desires, which is the 3rd book. Yeah, book 3 in the Maiden Lane series by Elizabeth Hoyt. And hello. Anyways, so this follows Mickey O'Connor and Silence. And Silence has been taking care unknowingly of his daughter this whole time, because she works in an orphanage, and he comes and his enemies are coming back at him, and he's like, I have to take her, like, I have to keep her safe, like, you have to come with me, blah, blah, blah. But then we find out that Mickey O'Connor has been obsessed with Silence for the longest time, and this is more so like a way for him to like force her to spend time with him and like eventually fall for him, because he's a pirate. And he does things by sea, but it's more so like he also goes and like kicks in doors in people's houses and is like, hey, you owe me money. Like, so it's like he's a multifaceted pirate, and like I really enjoyed that aspect of it. In Silence, obviously scandalized, because she's like, I can't be with a pirate, but why is he so attractive and why am I so obsessed with him type deal. I loved the angst. I loved the push and pull. I loved that when like it hits the fan at a certain point and Mickey's like, what you're not gonna do is hurt my woman. Like, this man wasn't playing with anybody when it comes to his daughter, but also when it comes to Silence. So chef's kiss. It was so good. I gave it 4 stars. I am so incredibly excited that I went and got the audiobook for the first book in the series, because I think there's like 13 or 14 books, and it follows like all the siblings and then like branches off. And I really want to go ahead and just pick up the next book because it follows her brother, but like I need to go back and read. But anyways, it was so good. Like, the angst, y'all. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, kiss the man. Like, it was so good. Like, so good. And this is my first Elizabeth Hoyt. So I was like, yeah, definitely. Loved it. Then I read some Julie Garwood, and I love Julie. Rip, because, anyways, I was a big fan. She has a romantic suspense series that I read when I was in high school. And the Buchanan family, I believe. Yes, Buchanan family, I believe is what it's called. Anyways, so diving into her, what are these? Historical romances has been new for me. But I read The Lion's Lady a few years ago, and these are the next 2 books in that series. So you have Guardian Angel and you have The Gift. And I gave Guardian Angel... Yes, I gave Guardian Angel 5 stars. So this is, she comes to help save Kane, because there's somebody after him because of his relationship with the brother that he thought was dead. And there's this whole spycraft element. And it's actually like, I really enjoyed like how she put like the story together. And this Jade comes to help save, and she's the the sister of the notorious pirate, Pagan. And Kane's like, I don't know if I should really have like a pirate sister in my house, et cetera, et cetera. And more from that unfolds, but like Kane's low-key obsessed, and not even low-key obsessed, but he has to keep it low-key from her, like obsessed with her from the very beginning. Like, she's got red hair and she's stunning. I mean, like rippling red hair and eyes of fire green. And she begs for his help because she's like, oh my gosh, they're after me, blah, blah, blah. And he, like, having a savior complex, was like, I will protect you. But he's still kind of like, should I trust her type deal. And it really is just like such a juicy story between the two of them. Like I was so obsessed with it. And yeah, so I liked the twist about the pirate, and that's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to ruin it, because I really like, I suspected it, but then I got to the end and I was like, ooh, that was good. I am bummed because this is an older copy of the book. Let me see. Oh, copyright 1990. Yeah, first pocketbook routine. This is the 1990. I would have loved to step back, but like, I'm not a hater. Then I read The Gift, and this follows Sarah Winchester and Nathan. Nathan is Jade's brother, and Sarah is his betrothed from like years upon years ago. And she was 5'6" when the official marriage happened, and then obviously he leaves her behind, and he's significantly older than her. I wouldn't say significantly, but he was like 15, 16, so he's like 10, 11 years older than her, which when you're a child bride, totally different when you actually become adults. So Sarah has this like really like built up image of him in her brain, and is like obsessed for the day that her husband's gonna come and like take her away from a family who like doesn't care about her, treats her horribly. Like her dad hits her, they lock her up in the house, they treat her like she's an idiot, all of these things, right? So she's built up in this idea that like he's her savior. So he comes, blah, 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 doesn't realize all this is happening. She internalizes everything and she agrees. She's like, yeah, sure, I'll come live on your pirate ship with you. So she moves onto the ship, and it's so funny because at a certain point the entire crew like truly believes that like she's cursed because things start happening, and like she's just trying to help, and then things just befall the crew, and it's so funny. But then like there's this really beautiful thing about like seeing about where she does something and like wins back the hearts of everybody. And this entire time like Nathan's trying really hard like not to fall for her. But obviously, come on now, like she's everything that he's ever wanted, and he's been obsessed with her for years. And then you get to the point where like Nathan has to go up against her dad. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. I really loved it. Julie Garwood like can truly write a really great pirate romance, and I had a time. Then I finished out the month with The Care and Feeding of Pirates by Jennifer Ashley. I'm a huge Jennifer Ashley fan. Obviously The Madness of Lord Ian Mackenzie is what really got me into her work, and then I've since read like the Mackenzie brothers and all of that. But this is my first foray into a pirate romance, and she actually has a couple. So this follows Honoria and Christopher. And oh, I do remember that. Okay, so they meet, and he's like obsessed with the way she looks, and they're obsessed with, here she comes again. Hang on just a second. Okay, I think she's gone. She's been really needy. Like normally she doesn't pop up this many times. I've been filming for a little bit though. Anyways, so she agrees to like go and live on the ship with him. They come to an agreement because he originally was supposed to die. Her brother, Honoria's brother, actually is the one who arrested him, and he was supposed to be put to death. So she goes to visit him the night before, and they get married, and she has the marriage certificate or whatever, and then he shows back up, and he's like, hey girl, what's up? And it's 4 years later, and she's like, I thought you were dead. And so he's back to reclaim his wife because he's obsessed with her and has been in love with her forever, like literally since the day he met her. And so he comes back to reclaim her. She's furious because he's been alive this entire time and like led her to believe that he's been dead. And so she's like, you know what? If you can manage to seduce me on our trip across the Atlantic, then I will consider remaining your wife. If not, I'm over you. But of course, Honoria is like obsessed with him and has loved him because she could have had the marriage annulled like at any point. Like she could have like, you know, he's dead, I'm gonna move on with my life type deal. But she didn't, and that's because like in her heart she knows that she loves him, but she can't get past the fact that he's been alive this whole time and hasn't come to find her. So I absolutely love this one. I give this one 5 stars. I had a time. It was so much fun reading pirate historical romances, and it wasn't like a trope that I was expecting or like a character type I was expecting to really love in a historical, but it just really fits because like it gives like the bad boy vibes, and like it's always like the prim and proper ladies who are like, I can't fall for the bad. Like I I can't marry a pirate. That's scandalous. And then they're just like, but I'm obsessed with him. So I really had a time. Definitely was a wonderful way to end my reading month. But yeah, so those are the 21 books that I read in the month of May. And like I said, I will link my Mafia Romance Readathon wrap up. Wild that I didn't even talk about it, and this is still 20 minutes. But I think we did okay. Thank you for understanding Belle's need to come and join us for the wrap up. And as always, let me know in the comment box below if you've read anything, if you have any recommendations for historical romance pirate books that I haven't read. Please let me know, because I do feel like this is something that I still want to continue to read now that I like have found it to be something that like I'm super interested in. So with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. And as always, besties, I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.